Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news show.
Battlegrounds is in a sorry state at the moment, with bugs ruining the experience for players. Forged to Fight compensation data has been teased by Kabam as the game closes down. New Spiderman model revealed in preparation for his new buff coming soon. And good news, 7-star borders will change. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to a brand new start of the week. Lots of energy, feeling really energized and good. And also, if you notice, I've been changing a lot of backgrounds, occasionally comic books and graphic novels will change. The graphic novel I've recently finished was Civil War 2. I felt that this was a great story arc that they started off with a very bad ending. There was really cool tie-in bits to Old Man Logan as a comic book, and if you're looking for an opportunity to see how a war between superheroes rages on after the first one, this isn't too bad. As I said, the ending I do find a bit meh, but most of it was fantastic. Yeah, so what I'm going to do in some MCNs at the start is just kind of talk about a comic book or a graphic novel in a brief kind of description, just my thoughts of it. But yeah, thanks very much for dropping on by to the MCN. Hit the like button, subscribe with post notifications on all. And yeah, let's get into the news show. Lots of things to go over. And we start with good news. Well, it's up to you how you want to kind of perceive this as being good or bad news. The 7-star border. Okay, a lot of people like it and a lot of people dislike it. It's a difficult medium. It's a weird medium because it's got those little kind of purple crystals just popping off from it. And it's kind of taken away from how it's previously been in the scheme of things. Some people are new, fresh, whatever. And definitely over the past several months, I've seen certain things I like this by Super Duper Boo, who has put together these amazing art, by the way, but also kind of puts together, this, which is just some options and examples. I personally like the metal one here, but I just, that's the thing, I like the style of it. I think it's really cool. I think it's a good blend from going from 5, 6 to 7-star. And the Galaxy Glow, still pretty cool. And the same with the Marvel effect. That's pretty cool as well. It's pretty sick. There are some, I think there's one other option that he's done. I think it's this one here. Similar, similar effect, but also, effective. Brilliant. Love it. But it definitely brings up and conjures the conversation about whether or not it should be changed. I know some people will say no, but looks like it is going to be changed in some capacity. So Kabam Mike says no petition needed. We're already looking into it, but it's not a priority at the moment. It'll be a bit, but we're already moving forward with something that I think looks much cooler. Though I am in the minority that like what we have already too. I know, I kind of feel like this is important about fans of the game going, well, you could do it a little bit. Some people like it. Look, some people like it, some people don't, right? But I'm not a massive fan of the little crystals over it. That's just a personal thing for me. Other than that, they could have just tidied up in a certain way, but I'm sure they'll kind of figure out something before the crystal and the champion, the 7-star champion that you can get will be released. So, something before, was it April time? So we've still got 4 months or 3 months before Kabam, 3 or 4 months before Kabam kind of release this stuff. So yeah, interesting news of that. Spider-Man Classics model has changed. All the kind of well, I wouldn't say the uniform. I'd say it's the model's been tidied up. Look, in the modern sense of things, is where Kabam were developing the game back in, say, 2014, and how they were kind of doing the uniform textures, shading, all those things. It's different how they are now. The team are just so much better when it comes to the art of the champions, and you can definitely see that within this one here, it kind of reminds me a bit of the Spider-Man Stark in Hands, so Starky, than anything, but it's definitely got the kind of mixture. It feels a little bit more, what is it, not kind of Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, if you kind of get my drift with that. It kind of gets that kind of feel. I like it a lot more. I think it's just more cleaner. They're not going to change it dramatically. They won't go down the Black Panther route as they did recently, but it's definitely good to see this. I guess this is in preparation for the buff of the champion, which I can't remember if it's going to be this month or not this month, but next update. I can't remember. It's one of the two. I would say that it may be Hulk and Spider-Man in the same one, because it would be next month. Don't quote me on that one. I'm not 100% sure, but I just like the way that Kabam have put a bit of effort into improving that. I did check to see if there was any kind of improvements or difference to the spotlight, but yeah, nothing's been changed yet. I can imagine, as I said, we'll get announcements of the champion changes next update or the following month after that. It's hard to say at this stage because, you know, we need to kind of like get this month out of the way. It just started really. What 1 week? It's not even 1 week since the new update. So I'm like, you know, and we've got EOP coming up this week. We've got so much stuff in on game. So just catching up and keeping up to date is going to be the work, isn't it, people? Battlegrounds is in a bad state at the moment. Okay, I wanted to kind of do a longer kind of like coverage of this, and this is basically it. So I've been inundated with messages, screenshots, and forum threads, you name it, when it comes to problems in Battlegrounds. We're going to go over one particular issue, one key major issue, but also other things that seem to be kind of creeping their way in. Here's a creeping their way in type of issue, which is this. So David messaged me to say that he had won the first match and was going to win the second match. Then he got kicked off the server and came back, and it was 0 versus 0, and it's a loss, right? At this stage, I would say if anybody's experiencing any issues with Battlegrounds, whether or not you're getting like bumped off the server, whether or not you're going to see the issue in a minute, the big issue at the moment, or several other things, is this mode is not in a good state at the moment and needs a lot of work. Even if, like, I think we're going to have to like rough it out until the end of this season, and in that week that this is like off season, Kabam need to fix the heck out of it because it's just not good, right? The part 2 to this is the major issue going on in Battlegrounds at the moment. This is just so strange. Like over the weekend, I don't know if this started like late Friday. This is when I started seeing like a flurry of messages and forum threads and stuff like that on the subject of you would go into a fight, okay, you may get the champion like down to about 20%, or you just completely knock them out. And then you come back to the victory results screen, and you find that you've lost because your defender is up at 100% and you're up at being KO'd. What? Honestly, this is so surprising. And look, I get it, right? Games break. Okay, things go wrong. But things go wrong after the update like this, but several days after the new content drop. There's so many. How does that happen? How was like between Wednesday and Friday? What happened? It's kind of so unusual. What happened exactly on Friday to start having this kind of effective this situation right here? Is this specific to where you might be in the Battlegrounds tiering system? Well, it's not. So I got messaged by Raul about this, who says that same situation. Got completely crashed out the game, and like he defeated Hercules, but then when he came back to results screen, he was KO'd. This is really bad. It's worse because this is a loss of energy, or it's a loss of elder marks, it's a loss of time, and yeah, it's just incredibly frustrating. Man, it sucks. And the thing is, I don't feel Kabam will compensate. I really, recently with stuff, you kind of think, with all the stuff that's been breaking, especially in this last week, Kabam aren't going to compensate. I would be surprised if Kabam compensated those players that were affected by the persistent bug issues of Apocalypse, Human Torch, etc, etc. And there's no word on that one. Whether or not we hear anything this week, that is going to be a key thing because people want to use it. I wanted to do Grandmaster Gauntlet. I probably will do it this weekend. I probably won't do EOP. Well, I may do EOP over Grandmaster Gauntlet. It depends on what's rewarded better. But I want to use my APOC and I want to use my Human Torch. So I'm waiting off on those and see what happens with that particular scenario, that particular issue being resolved. This particular issue is just such a huge pain point for players, and it is frustrating because it is a waste of time and it's a waste of resources if stuff like this doesn't work. I even saw like in another thread, a member of Kabam was saying about the way that the game is, you know, you're not live communicating with the server, so it's not a case of like when you're playing and stuff is happening, it doesn't communicate directly to the server. And they would say that like when you kind of like get into a fight, it then goes like to the client, and so basically it's your device. But when the kind of the fight ends, the communications of what happened in that fight is then pinged to the server. So how that kind of like allows what's going on. I do think that's kind of like a big issue for Kabam, in that how they create consistency between what the player sees, what the player interacts with, and what the server sees and the server interacts with. And it definitely looks like this could be the case of this particular element of the client. So while you got the device, crashes mid-fight or at the end of, or when something happens in a fight, and then what happens to the ping afterwards, it just kind of pings the incorrect information to the server to say what's going on. Don't quote me on being at 100% how that works. I don't know how Kabam operate their game, but definitely it's something to kind of question as to what is happening between these points. There's 2 points here that something is not happening correct between them, either at your device level or at the game level. It's really hard to say about that, but as this dropped over the weekend, it's difficult for Kabam to kind of respond back against this. I would really urge a member of Kabam to kind of like look into this and get it sorted. The disappointing side of things is going to be compensating against this particular stuff, which, as I don't think they're going to be able to. I don't think they will do. I'd like them to kind of like address it, but I just don't think that they will do anything. But yeah, it's pretty sad to see like threads and messages of this particular issue going on, and yeah, it's not a great way to start the week, not a great weekend. You just think, what's happened? What happened on either I think it was Friday night, or was it Saturday? It's Saturday. You kind of think, well, what? I mean, Friday the 13th. Did something happen on Friday the 13th that then kind of went boom, affected Battlegrounds? Yeah, just not good. Really sad. And then we end with Marvel. And then we end with Transformers Forged to Fight. As a lot of you know, Transformers Forged to Fight was a game that Kabam released back in 2016, and people played it, and it was enjoyed. It had a really kind of solid backing from the people that did enjoy playing it, but it wasn't as popular as Marvel Contest Champions. Forged to Fight is still an anomaly as well. A few other, including Marvel Contest Champions, is an anomaly within the mobile game space. Mobile games don't survive a long time. You know, there's a lot of games. I think that Marvel Future Revolution is it's on its arse, really. I don't see that game surviving too long. A lot of mobile games make a lot of mistakes when it comes to microtransactions, pay to win elements and stuff like that, which ruin the experience for players. And I think that's something that MCOC is not 100% great at, but it's not the worst. Especially, you know, switching to non-spending, entering now into my second year of non-spending in Marvel Contest Champions. It's not bad, it's not brilliant. Whether or not that was the same for Forged to Fight, it kind of replicated the same fighting style of Marvel Contest Champions, but went in its own kind of direction. In any case, though, it's come to an end, and a lot of players that played that game were given compensation packages, or will be given compensation packages, so to speak. So, where is it? When is it? How is it? Why is it? Well, shout out to Dated Wizard for sending through this image. This, I think, comes from the Forged to Fight Discord, and Mike says in answer to anything on compensation on MCOC, because they did say they would do a compensation package aiming for early March. No details on the contents though. It is not going to be a one-to-one transfer of anything like that, more of a general package. And as we've talked about in the past, there has been a general kind of package that was Marvel Realm of Champions. I played Marvel Realm of Champions. I did really enjoy that game, but the same thing with Kabam is they make a lot of mistakes with the direction of things. I'm not saying they did it with Forged to Fight, because I think it's still kind of like Forged to Fight was very different. It was more kind of close to MCOC, if anything. So it kind of like, you know, it survived in a way that was kind of like, it was all right. But there was a compensation package for Realm of Champions, which looked a little like this, which consisted of a 10 million gold, 10 level 3 revives, 1 6-star hero crystal, 5-star champion selector, 10 5-star Nexus Heroes crystals, and 5 level 2 team revives. Like, I don't know if you'll get the same level of this. I would say with the game's meta changing in MCOC, and this was kind of, was it last year's? Or year before? Can't remember. You might get something a bit better. Don't quote me on that one. It's just a case of like how the game has evolved, like, and how things are. But it depends if like Kabam are treating these people as brand new to the game to kind of encourage them to play. Don't know, but yeah, could be a nice compensation package coming to you. There we go. That has been the show for today. There's no arena results because we didn't get any, sadly. And yeah, we'll hope to get some results at a later stage, or I'll retweet the results from other people posting them or whatever. In any case, thanks very much for watching. Thanks to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a Patreon who are on screen right now. Also, thanks to those that support the channel as a Twitch Prime and Twitch sub person. Thank you for being those people who are on screen now. I should be definitely live streaming today. Like, I know I said that last week, but I had stuff on. And I was trying to get early nights and sleep. But in any case, I should be back. Also, check out some other content located on screen, and I'll be working on another video very, very shortly. So look forward to doing that as well. Cheers, everybody. Have a good day. Bye-bye.